Theranos is a company that was once worth $9 billion, and it's the biggest scandal in Silicon Valley history. The blood testing startup was once valued at $9 billion. Founded in 2003 by the then 19-year-old Elizabeth Holmes, Theranos promised to revolutionize the blood testing industry with its innovative technology. But it turns out the technology didn't work, and Theranos misled investors, customers, and the government about the efficacy of its tests. The company was facing multiple lawsuits, and its value had plummeted. The Theranos scandal is a story of greed, deception, and betrayal. Elizabeth Holmes is a classic Silicon Valley visionary who promised to change the world and make billions of dollars, but her company was built on lies, and her downfall is a cautionary tale for the tech industry. In this video, we'll look at the Theranos scandal. We'll discuss everything in detail that will leave you in shock. So sit back, relax, and let's get started. Welcome to the Lightning Rod channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more videos. Elizabeth Holmes was born in Washington, D.C. in 1984. She grew up in Houston, Texas, and showed an interest in science and technology from a young age. She attended St. John's School, a private college preparatory school in Houston, and was a member of the school's Science and Technology Club. In 2002, Holmes enrolled at Stanford University, where she studied chemical engineering. During her time at Stanford, she became interested in the idea of creating a portable blood testing device that could be used outside of a lab setting. She dropped out of Stanford in 2003 to pursue this idea and founded Theranos later that year. Around this time, Elizabeth had met Sunny Balwani. Sunny Balwani is a former executive at a software company who became the president and chief operating officer of Theranos, a blood testing startup founded by Elizabeth Holmes. Balwani was born in India and grew up in Pakistan, where he studied computer science. He later moved to the United States and worked as an executive at a number of software companies. Balwani met Elizabeth Holmes in 2002 when she was a student at Stanford University and he was working at a software company. The two became friends and later started dating. In 2003, when Holmes founded Theranos, Balwani joined the company as its president and chief operating officer. At Theranos, Balwani played a key role in the company's operations and growth. He worked closely with Holmes to develop the company's technology and attract investors, and was instrumental in securing the company's eventual partnership with Walgreens. At the time, Theranos was a small startup with a big vision. The company's goal was to revolutionize the blood testing industry by creating a device that could perform a wide range of tests using just a few drops of blood. This would be a major advancement over traditional blood testing methods, which typically require large samples and can be time-consuming and expensive. In the early days of Theranos, Holmes worked tirelessly to develop the company's technology and attract investors. She was a charismatic and passionate leader, and her vision for the company quickly gained traction in Silicon Valley. Within a few years, Theranos raised millions of dollars in funding and was valued at over $9 billion. Elizabeth Holmes was widely celebrated in Silicon Valley and beyond as a visionary and a trailblazer. She was often compared to Apple co-founder Steve Jobs, and like Jobs, she was known for her charismatic and persuasive personality. She was also known for her distinctive appearance, often wearing a black turtleneck and little or no makeup, which further drew comparisons to Jobs. Holmes was even featured on the cover of Forbes magazine in 2014, which declared her the next Steve Jobs. The article praised her as a brilliant young entrepreneur who was reinventing the medical industry. At the time, Theranos was valued at over $9 billion, and Holmes was hailed as a shining example of Silicon Valley success, but internally, things were falling apart. The Edison was the signature product of Theranos, and the device that the company claimed would revolutionize the blood testing industry. The Edison was a portable device that was supposed to be able to perform a wide range of blood tests using only a few drops of blood. This would be a major advancement over traditional blood testing methods, which typically require larger blood samples and can be time-consuming and expensive. However, it was being revealed that the Edison was not capable of performing the tests that Theranos claimed it could. In fact, the company was using traditional blood testing machines manufactured by Siemens to conduct most of its lab tests rather than the Edison. This deception was a key aspect of the Theranos scandal and ultimately led to the downfall of the company and its founders. However, Theranos was yet to face its biggest enemy yet, the press. The downfall of Theranos and its founders, Elizabeth Holmes and Sunny Balwani, was largely due to the investigative reporting of John Carreyrou, a journalist at the Wall Street Journal. Carreyrou first became interested in Theranos in late 2013 when the company was at the height of its success. Carreyrou began investigating the company and its technology and quickly discovered that there were major inconsistencies in Theranos' claims. He spoke to former employees of the company who revealed that the Edison, the company's signature blood testing device, was unreliable and produced inaccurate results. Despite facing significant pushback and resistance from Theranos, Carreyrou continued his investigation and published a series of articles exposing the truth about the company's technology and operations. These articles attracted the attention of the SEC and the DOJ, who launched an investigation into Theranos and ultimately charged the company and its founders with multiple counts of fraud. Carreyrou's investigative reporting was crucial in uncovering the truth about Theranos and bringing the company's fraudulent activities to light. His work has been widely praised and has earned him several awards, including a Pulitzer Prize. However, Holmes expressed her disagreement with the reporting and stated that Carreyrou got the story incorrectly. She stated, "This is what happens when you work to change things, and first they think you're crazy, then they fight you, and then all of a sudden you change the world." Holmes continued to push her company's claims and her own narrative of personal success. The business continued to demonstrate its innovative technologies at various conferences. After all that happened, the Food and Drug Administration and the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services had both begun looking into Theranos' business practices. Investors, pharmaceutical partners, and the state of Arizona, where the firm supplied direct blood testing to customers, all filed lawsuits against the corporation. Theranos, Holmes, and former President Balwani were all charged with major fraud by the SEC in 2018. According to a statement from the SEC, Theranos, Holmes, and Balwani made numerous false and misleading statements in investor presentations, product demonstrations, and media articles by which they deceived investors into believing that its key product could conduct comprehensive blood tests from finger drops of blood, revolutionizing the blood testing industry. Thereafter, Holmes settled with the SEC in March 2018 without admitting or denying wrongdoing on her part. She gave up voting power of Theranos, paid a $500,000 fine, and returned 18.9 million shares as part of a settlement in which she also consented to a 10-year ban on acting on a board of a public corporation. Gina Choi, director of the SEC's San Francisco regional office, stated, "The Theranos story is an important lesson for Silicon Valley. Innovators who seek to revolutionize and disrupt an industry must tell investors the truth about what their technology can do today, not just what they hope it might do someday." Furthermore, the U.S. Attorney's Office in San Francisco accused Holmes and Balwani of fraud charges in June 2018. Holmes resigned as Theranos' chief executive officer before criminal charges were brought against her. Both Holmes and Balwani have entered not-guilty pleas and were awaiting trial as of June 2018. Technology consultant Paul Sappho said in response to the indictment, "There's one cardinal rule in Silicon Valley that most people never realize, and this is never ever breathe your own exhaust." He continued, "Holmes is someone who is deeply self-deluded by her optimism and faith in herself, and delusion is contagious." Soon, 3 months later, after an investigation by the FBI, the firm formally shut down, leaving thousands of former workers, many of whom John discovered to be bright individuals with integrity, uninformed of the company's illegal behavior with unclear futures. As a result of all of these allegations, in January 2022, a court convicted Holmes guilty of 4 counts of fraud against investors. In November of that year, she was given a sentence of more than 11 years in jail. Additional details about the demise of Theranos were uncovered throughout the trial, with prosecutors alleging that Holmes destroyed evidence during the company.